Please comment there before I continue. And I hope you guys are somewhere doing very well and not freezing. I hope nobody's freezing. I hope nobody's freezing. All right. So welcome to our today's session. And today I would want us to continue with this great concept that we had begun yesterday, which we should be able to finish in the next 30 minutes. I'm so sure everybody here had carried money to go and eat lunch today. I don't want to be the one standing in between yourselves and your lunch. So I'll be able to give you a cool 30 minutes so that you can go and eat your nyama choma, right? So then a quick reminder, I would want us to come, of course, it is this expanded RCM Excel Ninja 2. RCM Excel Ninja 2. So I would want us to come here after you open this PP2 worksheet. Of course, you walk around with this, until you see that PP2 like that. And then come and click on this slicer. Let's remove the slicer by deleting it. We click on it and then we remove the slicer by clicking there. If there is any filter, like mine, you can see there is a filter already here. If there is any filter, I would want us to remove this filter. You click on this, and then of course you say clear filter from the region. Clear filter from the region. Clear filter from the region. Now I would want to know whether there is anybody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached. Is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Anybody who has been, even if you did yesterday, I mean, when I'm repeating, you must also repeat. Remember, my policy is that you know nothing until, in this case here, you finish the course. So you need to keep on repeating Excel. The more the times you do Excel, the more you understand it. The more you understand it. So I expected somebody to go back to PP2 and demonstrate this concept here. Actually, the concept that I would want everyone here to repeat is the concept of how to get these conditional sums. How to get these conditional sums. This is the most important thing for me. How do we get these conditional sums? You see, we have here the sales for all the regions. But your manager tells you, hey, we don't want sales for all the regions, West, Midwest, East. No, we only want sales for the Eastern region alone, East region. So then how will I be able, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here to do this? It's very easy to do this. I will use what we call the SUMIFS concept. SUMIFS concept. So I'll come and say equals SUMIFS. I can see SUMIFS as popped up. Then we say tab like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, they want me to come look at this. I'm following this. They've given me a model to follow. So sum range. So in my sheet, which column am I going to highlight as the sum range? Which column am I going to highlight as the sum range? Remember, I'm working with the very original table. Throughout. You are right. So I'm going to pick D. And then once I pick this D, somebody who is speaking to me, once I pick this D, what do you know about the sum ranges? What is it that I have to do to them? What is it that I have to do to them? What is it that I have to do to them? Those sum ranges, somebody remind me. You told me click D as the sum range, but there is something that is very important that I have to do to them. What is that? Which Mwalimu has to do to these sum ranges? Is that somebody who could be knowing? That the sum ranges, in this case here, must always be dollarized, if you remember. The sum ranges must always be fully referenced. They must always be fully referenced by clicking on F4. So we shall be able to go up there. Of course, some laptops like mine have to say function. Second function, so it's FN and then F4 on top. And then F4 on top. Now you can see we have the dollars there. Those are fixing metrics. I have to fix this range so as I move, it will not be moving. It will ever be constant. So from there, I say, come, I'm following this. Then we have the criteria range. Here we have East. But now remember, range is many. So when we talk of East, so I have to look at the East range. East range in this table, we have East among us this. So I need to come and click on E. Once I click on E, I have to dollarize it. Dollarization, of course, means that I press FN, F4 like that. And then I come and say, ladies and gentlemen, comma. So when I say comma, then I will be able to move on to the next, the last thing, which is now the criteria. The condition itself, it is is that I need. So when I press this east, of course, not a mark, but I must get used to this concept of dollarizing. Like now here, it is J. Column J is a pivotal column. This column J, because I may want to get east, which product, east, which sales amount, east, who are the sales rep. I may want to get that. So this column J then has to be fixed, column J alone. So here I can't use the F4. No, here it is only J. I would want, as I move down, things will be changing, but as I move along the columns here, J should ever be constant. Then I'll come immediately after the E, not equals, but after the comma, I will come and say shift there, and then I say dollar like that. And then now I should be able to come here and a close bracket. I should be able to come here and a close bracket like that. And then I should be able to do what here? To enter. Once I enter, I can see the total sales from the Eastern region, which, by the way, I had also gotten using pivot, is 146,000, 141.53. Then I can come and hit my rabbit here. So that is it. So all of us must be very comfortable with this. But this is not why I brought you around. Why I brought you around over lunch hour is because of this mapping of financial statements. The mapping of the financial statements here, which of course I would want to come here and just subtract these columns here. So I would want to subtract them, control minus. I don't want them. You guys may be having them, or you may not be having them. I don't want them because I would want to start from scratch. Even you guys must today start from scratch with me. Today, you have to start this thing from scratch with me. So I know you are mapped, but today we are starting from scratch, all of us. So how do we start from scratch? It's very easy. First of all, ensure that you don't have any filters here. Ensure that you don't have any filters here. As an accountant, this is something that I must be very good at. Ensure that you don't have any filter here. Yeah, can somebody in this case here answer magenta, keep? Can somebody in this case here send this file to the paid group? Don't send it here. Just send it to the paid group. Just send it to the paid group, and the keep will be able to pick it. It is the latest expanded RCM Excel Ninjas 2. The latest. You should be able to get it there. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please ensure that you don't have any filter. How do you do it? If you see it, then you'll be able to click on this. You click on this. All right. Assuming I had a filter, let me just demonstrate. Assuming I had a filter. Assuming I had a filter. You see, like now there is a filter here. How do I clear the filter? I would want all the filters cleared. So come here. You'll be able to see here the filter with a red thing. Clear the filter from financials. Clear like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I would want us to remove this mapping. Let's remove the mapping that you have done with your sales here yesterday. So come here to the revenue, say Control Shift, and then you go down. Control Shift with a down arrow. Control Shift with a down arrow, and then you should be able to come and say delete. So I want, in this case here, the mapping column to be 100% clean sheet. 100% clean sheet. So is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Please talk to me this afternoon. 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 Is there somebody who has been able to reach where? Is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Please talk to me this afternoon. This is so important. This is so important. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, somebody should be able to send a document on WhatsApp. Thank you so much. On WhatsApp. All right. And then now I would want us to understand, why do we want to do financial statements mapping? It's because of the IFRSs. You can't come and tell us that now you are a big store which has got branches all over East Africa, And then you start telling us that in your income statement, we have revenue from Kenya, revenue from Uganda, revenue from South Africa. No. No, that will be very wrong. Revenue will be revenue. So then we need to do mapping here. How do we map? It's very easy. Come to your filter. And then I want us to start in this case here by filtering the revenue. So you say revenue there. Yeah. So you can see now here, all through, we have revenues only. So you come and say, okay. So when you say, okay, please come and put here your cursor and type revenue. I want all these now to be, you can see, we have revenue from supermarkets, revenue from discounters, revenue from grocery. So come and put revenue there. So I would want all these revenues to be driven to one revenue line item, revenue. And then I love to come and say, enter there. Once I enter there, I discovered yesterday that the easiest way here is not to use the, Excel is also quite not stable. Excel is something they keep on, in this case, you're making improvements by the day. So once you are here, the very best way of working with this out of field is to come here and take this thing down. You simply put here, and then you drag it. Don't even hit it. Just drag it down. It won't take you too long. Just drag it down. You can see we have hit the last, and then you release. All right. Let me just go back. It's coming. It comes slowly like that. So you simply drag down instead of hitting twice. Of course, revenue, the first one, when you hit it twice, it will be able to behave, but the others may not behave in every Excel version. All right. And then, ladies and gentlemen, once you've done that, then you need to go back here. Just go back. Just go back by clicking here. Just go back. So remember, what do you want, Mwalimu? What Mwalimu wants is to come up with an income statement. Once I have my revenue line item, I would want to get the cost of goods sold for me to get gross profit. So then I will come here and I click this. Then now I'm looking for the COGS. I can see them here, the COGS. So COGS are cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Now that I've been able to write COGS there, now I can see there, say, okay. So all through here, now I have COGS, but I don't want COGS which are separated. I would want to come and I have just one line item, not even called COGS, but cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold. Then I enter, control enter, and then I should be able to come here and hold this thing by the tail, the outer field, and then I take it down. I take it down to the very last. I release. I release. It's filling up itself up. It moves slowly, And then I should be able to come and hit somewhere here on top, just on top here. And then I go back. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a bright fella. I know at the end of the day, once I have gross profit, then I need to look at the operations. I need to look at the operating expenses. So come here and look for the operating expenses, what we call the OPEX. So I can see operating expenses down here, but I need to search so that I'm sure. Operating expenses. I can see they're now here, the only ones. So, okay. So now I see all over its operating expenses. I only need to come and just type here, operating expenses like that. Operating expenses. And then I should be able to say control, enter. And then I should be able to come and just pull this thing down. You pull it hard. You pull it hard to the end there. Leave it. Takes a minute, it comes back. After operating expenses, ladies and gentlemen, I know the next thing will be the depreciation. The depreciation. Depreciation, if you remember your published accounts. The next thing should be depreciation. So come here, my friends. Click somewhere there to go to the top. And then you look for depreciation here. Just type D. I can see they are calling them D and A. So D and A, like that. And I can see it has already come up. Depreciation and amortization. Depreciation and amortization. So I'll be able to come here, click like that. So it is here. My published accounts cannot allow me to write D and A initials. So I must come here and write this in full. So we have here depreciation, and amortization. depreciation and amortization, and then I say control enter, and then I pull this thing by the tail out of field, pull it down till the end, like that. All right. Now, after that, of course, I know the next thing will be interest and tax now. So you'll get used to this. You'll get used to this. It's a very, very common thing in financial reporting. As I do it, of course, I've done it severally, so they are right on my fingertips, but you guys will become better than me. Interest. So then I have interest. So interest, I can see it is here. Now come and say, okay. So I can see now all of its interest. So then I need to come here and just type. I can even decide to call this finance cost, because that is what published accounts talks about. Instead of interest, nowadays we call them finance what year cost. All right. Say control enter, then come here. And basically don't double click, because if you try double clicking, you can see it's giving you the immediate, quite unstable thing, quite unstable thing. So in this case here, let me just go back here. Let me go back here. We have in this case here finance cost. So we have here finance cost like that, control enter, and then I come and pull this by the tail like that until I got the last one. All right. Then now I have the very last thing to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be able to come here and look for what we call taxation. So we have here taxation. So we have there tax. I can see taxes are here. All right. I may want to call this corporate tax, corporate tax. Corporate tax. That's why we are mapping to ensure that everything goes by the right name. Enter like that. Then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be able to come here and do what here, and basically copy this down, release it. Great. Then once I reach here, I will go back and now clear. I will go back and clear the filter. I'll clear the filter. I can clear from either here. See, if I clear from there, what is going to happen? I can see now the filter is cleared. I have all my financials here. So before I continue, I would want to know whether we are really together. I would want to know whether really we are together. Are we together? Is there someone who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? By whatever means. Is there anybody who has been able to, crook is not a very good term, but is there somebody who has been able to reach where Mwalimu has reached? Thank you so much. I will be able to repeat again. I'm going to repeat again. But before I repeat, I would want you to come and copy the whole of this column F. Whole of column F. So Control C, copy it. And then you come somewhere here, either on I or J, please paste it here. So Control V, paste it here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once you paste it here, there is one big problem. And what is the problem here? The problem, ladies and gentlemen, happens to be the fact that there are many repetitions. You can see we have revenue, we have many repetitions. All right. Then in that regard, I would want us to come here to data ribbon, this data ribbon, and then you go to duplicates. There's a shortcut, but you don't have to master all the shortcuts really Excel. Once you start mastering all the shortcuts, again, that will not be very, very good. Yeah, there are things in this case you simply have to go the longer way, even if there are shortcuts here. We used to cram in those old days when Excel was the only thing, but nowadays, I mean, we have a Python, we have so many things to cram. No, if there's anything which makes our work easier, so you can see a remove duplicate. So you say remove duplicate, and then in this case, you shall be able to say, okay, great. We have removed 1 million, I mean, so many of them, about 1 million duplicate values. So say, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I would want you guys to do me a favor. So I know revenue, cost of goods sold, operating between revenue and cost of goods sold, I will have gross profit. I will have gross profit between cost of goods sold and operating expenses. So I need to come and highlight these operating expenses, and then I move that row down. I right click, and then you say insert. And then you say shift cell down. Not the entire row, because if you talk of the entire row, it will distort this table. So here it is better to just move the cell down. This one here. You simply move the cell down. So you can see it has left space for me to write here gross profit. Gross profit. To write gross profit. And then, of course, after remove operating expenses, After I remove operating expenses, I have to come and introduce something new here. Right click, insert, entire cell to be shifted down. And then we shall be able to introduce what we call EBITDA. EBITDA is earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. Very, very key. So this should be bolded. Control Enter. Yeah. The same with this gross profit. This should be bold. Yeah. And then now after that, before finance cost, I have to subtract this. You'll get used to this. I'm not worried. I'll be able to do several examples. You'll be able to get used to this. So in this case here, I'll be able to come and push this finance cost down by saying here, insert, shift cells down. Okay. Then we shall be able to come and say here, EBIT. A backspace to remove that down. So in this case here, enter. And I can do bolding of this. EBIT. And then of course, after I subtract interest, I will be able to get in this case here what we call EBIT. So I need to push this down a little bit. Let me push this down a little bit. I'm trying to format really. So in this case here, insert. I still want to shift this down. Okay. All right. So then I should be able to come and say PBT or EBT. EBT without I, because now finance cost has been removed. Right? Control in this case here, enter. Then I should be able to make this bold. And then lastly, then I will be able to come and talk about what here eat. I'll be able to come here and talk about eat here. I'll be able to come here and talk about eat. Earnings after tax. Control bold like that. And now listen to me very well. Remember, we have 3 years, 2014 to 2016. So I'll come and say here 2014. I will repeat. I'm so sure this I have to repeat. Then we have 2015. And then we have lastly 2016. Like that. This I have to repeat. I don't know my way. Now check what I will do, my friends. I want to get revenue for 2014. Remember, whatever total revenue you have is for 3 years. So I want to get revenue, first of all. Out of this amount, I'm going to restrict myself to revenue. So it is a SUMIFS. So then I'm going to come here and say equals. I press SUMIFS, like that. Sum range. Can somebody in this case here tell me the column I'm going to highlight? Please talk to me. I'm so sure you may not be following, but please talk to me. Which column do you think am I going to, in this case here, do what here? In this case here, highlight. Please talk to me. Thank you so much. It is column E, the one that I'm summing there. And once I've said it's column E, then I need to do something to it. I must fix this thing. So fix it. I fixed it. Then I say comma. After comma, they want the criteria range. This must be the revenue range. Where do we find revenue? Revenue is in the mapping. So I need to come here to F. And then again, I lock with F4. And then I come and say, comma. From there, they want me to give them criteria. Criteria is this revenue. Now, if you are keen, can you kindly tell me, where am I going to put this dollar, the dollarization? Am I going to press F4 to lock J and 3? Am I going to lock J alone? Am I going to lock 3 alone? Can somebody talk to me? Somebody very bright. Somebody very bright. Somebody very bright. Am I going to lock J alone, 3 alone? Or am I going to use F4 to lock J and 3? Somebody very, very bright. Somebody very bright. Somebody very bright. So in this case here, when I go down, I'll be going to different things. But when I go to 2015, I would want this still to be revenue. 2016, this will still be revenue. So then I need to come here just after the comma, and then I need to come and put what here? The dollar, just before J. Just before J. It doesn't stop there. There's another condition which is hidden. The year, if I just say enter here, I will get revenue for all the 3 years. So there is another criteria. So there is a criteria 2. You can see here it is in bold. There is a criteria 2. So criteria 2 range, we are now going to the year. So because it is 2014 I want, where do I find 2014? I see 2014 here. So I'm going to put my cursor here. And then, of course, this has to be fully dollarized. the ranges, these have to be fully dollarized like that. And then I say comma. So after criteria 2 range, then I'll be able to go to the criteria 2 itself. So you know it is a 2014 range and then 2014 itself. So I click that one, 2014. But there again, you have to be very careful. Where do I put my dollar? Am I going to put my dollar before K or before 2? Somebody guess. Somebody guess. To me, I know these are the titles. These are the titles here. These are the titles. I would want in this case here, as I go across here, these are changing. But you see, 2014 will be revenue 2014, gross profit 2014, EBITDA 2014, etc. So this is the title row. This row number 2. So I'll come to row number 2 here and I say shift dollar like that. This is something that you guys will get used to. That's why you're seeing I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all because I'm so sure you guys will become very good at this. So after you finish, ladies and gentlemen, then what you need to do is to come here really and control enter. So you can see the revenue for 2014 was 29.22. Then you come and take this across. Then you come and take this down. So up to where I have reached, is there any ninja who has been able to get those figures before I tell you what to do next? Up to where I have reached, is there any ninja who has been able to reach here? Is there any ninja who has been able to reach here by any chance? By any chance? Before I repeat, because I'm going to repeat 100%. I'm going to repeat 100%. I'm going to repeat 100%. It seems nobody. Then allow me to do something here. You see, normally all of this, apart from revenue, the others are expenses. So allow me to come and put here, all right? And then I would want, ladies and gentlemen, to say here times 1, or I introduce a negative sign here. Allow me to say times negative because expenses are cash outflows. So times negative 1. All right. So control enter. Control enter. So you can now see we have that negative 41. So and then I would want to come and do the same to these others because I would want all of them to be negative, and because I want everything to be negative, everything, just come down here and just copy that formula with a negative. And then now what do you do? So now you'll come and start getting this gross profit. Yeah. Alt equals. You can see this highlighting up to the ear. No problem. You simply come and squeeze this down. You say control enter. And then once you have gotten that gross profit, you simply come and take this to the side like that. Control B. You come to EBITDA. EBITDA, we are taking this gross profit minus this operating expense. This minus this operating expense. So basically I'm summing because already this has a minus. So I'll come here and say alt equals. When I say alt equals, you can see this thing is only picking this one here. So then what you need to do is to come here and just squeeze this thing up. You'll be able to follow. And then you say control enter. Then you come and squeeze this like that. For the other years. So control B like that. So go to EBIT. EBIT, of course, now you are taking the EBITDA minus depreciation. So you come here, you say alt equals. Squeeze this thing up a little bit to touch this. All right. So control enter. Then you need to come here and do what here? You need to come here and copy that. We continue. EBT, we are taking this minus this. So it will be alt equals, take this thing a little bit high to get that EBIT. Say control enter, and then now you come and pull this here like that. And then now we have the EAT we have in this case here, alt equals, pull it up a little bit, just a little bit, control enter, and then you should be able to come here and do like that. So you have now a 3 years income statements, which you need now to pass to your auditors for them to look at them, So the gentlemen, I'm 100% sure that most of us have not understood. I just wanted to use this particular class to demonstrate how now we use this Excel generally for us to be able to prepare financial statements. And I don't want to continue beyond there. because I'm just doing like curtain raising. This curtain raising for my today's what year evening class. So I expect you, great students of mine, to go and watch this video again. Try practicing. I'll be able to upload it right now. So try practicing it, so that by the time we meet in the evening, you guys will be very good at this. Just for my own knowledge here, I would want to know whether there is any student who was able to reach where I reached. Is there any ninja, by just any chance, who was able to do exactly what Mwalimu did? Oh, keep, great. Doreen, wow, great. Is there somebody who can share their screens? I just get to see what they have done. Is there somebody who can share their screens? I just get to see what they have done. Their final. Please share your screen. I just get to see what exactly you've done. I'm telling you, you can never go wrong studying at RCM. Studying at RCM, you'll be surprised. You guys are going to become really great accountants and great data analysts. All right. So go ahead and share your screen. Go ahead and share your screen. So anybody who would want to do Excel with us or even CPS with us, all right, you will simply need to call 0719 525 000. 0719 525 000, and we shall be able to develop really an accountant who will be highly sought after. I've taught so many people, you'll be surprised. This kind of talk that I'm giving you here, they are talks I've given to so many people, and they have risen to areas that I've never reached, even myself. Yeah, like the CEO, former CEO KCB, Oigara was my student. Now he's the CEO Stanbic. All right, he's now the CEO Stanbic. All right. Yeah, it must be great. Who is this? This is Sherry. Sherry, now you are the superstar. But Sherry, I'm worried a little bit because I see your answers that like the eat is not correct. You must go and just check again your figures. You can see the eat is not correct, but I like the arrangement. Now you are only left with something very small for you to become a superstar. All right. I can also see that your eat is not correct. Where are they going wrong, these ninjas here? Where are they going wrong here? Are you able to put your cursor on gross profit? Put your cursor on gross profit for 2014. K2. You see, you copied, you guys used even the year. You subtracted the year. You can't delete that. If you delete that, the entire table collapses. Just try. Hit there, Alt equals. Alt equals. Hit there, Alt equals. Alt equals. Alt equals. Just say Alt equals. Just there. Alt equals. Yeah. And then now you go up there. You see where you have captured the 2014. Say Alt equals again. Say Alt equals. You reduce that one. Yes. Then you say Enter. And then you copy that one across. Thank you. Go to EBITDA. EBITDA. That's correct. EBITDA. EBITDA now. EBITDA. Yeah. Say Alt equals. You don't have to delete nothing. Just say Alt equals. Alt equals. Alt equals, because I want that sum. EBITDA. You haven't yet said Alt equals. Alt equals. Or you can delete it if it has a problem. You can delete it. But if you just say Alt equals, it will give you. Just say Alt if I were you. Where I'd put that EBITDA of 2014. I'll just long press on Alt and then I say equals. And then, of course, if you're not able to get it, you can do it manually. You can do it manually. Otherwise, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a pleasure hosting you, and I believe that all these students are going to become students of RCM, and of course, bring other students along to study with them here. Yeah, let's see what Cheryl has. So Cheryl, still not correct. Not correct. Let's see there. Gross profit is okay. Are you able to put your EBITDA? Put at EBITDA. Put your cursor at EBITDA. EBITDA. Go up a little bit. That is K something. Yeah. So, okay. So you needed to take that. You know, you are only taking one cell. If I were you, I would have pushed that thing a little bit up to capture a gross profit as well. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would have done. Yeah. And then when you go to, you can see now what you did. When you go to EBIT, that one, right? So you have to take that thing a little bit up to capture EBITDA. Just Alt equals or something. Then you take it to capture EBITDA. All right. Okay, great. And then now you should be able to squeeze it like that. Then you go to EBT, earnings before tax. Yeah, great. And then you squeeze it a little bit up. And then you say enter. And then you take it across. All right. And then now you go to the last one. Actually, now you can even see the last one is correct now. But it's good to repeat. It's good to repeat. Have you done it yourself? No, just do it yourself. Do it yourself. And then there is one mistake I've also realized. You never used your dollarization very well. I can see there is one mistake I've realized. Just put your cursor there into 9, 29, 22. Great. What am I able to see? The first dollarization is correct. The second one is correct. J14, J is correct. K3. There must be something which is missing there. Because when you pulled, do I have 2412? Do I have 2412 in 2016? Let me just check. Okay, let me just check. Because in mine, it is 3040 in 2016. In mine, it is 20 something. So you need to check where you went wrong. You need to check where you went wrong because I can see your EAT for 2016 is really a big loss. It's really a big loss. Really a big loss. Great. So let's keep on doing this. By evening, all of you will be experts. Otherwise, thank you very much. See you later. Bye, and bye. See you later in the evening. By evening, we're making a lot of sense. Yeah, we shall be able to name those videos. We shall be able to name them.